What you can't see is I'm about to talk to you about what I've been doing today, and standing on top of my phone on the microphone looking at me is a little robin who has been very intrigued by what I'm doing today, which has been digging, because of course I've been digging and I've been revealing worms, and this robin thinks this is brilliant. Anyway, robins aside, today I have been doing something that I don't do very often, digging. And I've dug a trench the whole length of this polytunnel in order to bury the polythene skirt, which is about 45 centimetres, 18 inches of plastic, sticking out from where it joins the base rail that runs along the bottom of the tunnel here. And I dug the trench, as you can see here, about a spade depth and a spade width. Now this polytunnel is fastened to the ground with anchor plates, so it's very, very sturdy, and the polythene is attached to this base rail, which keeps it very tight, and that goes all the way round except around the door frames where it's fastened to the door frame. And so I don't actually need to have the polythene trenched. It could have been cut off all the way round, and actually that's what I did in my old garden, because where the polytunnel was, you actually couldn't have dug a trench. It was very tightly squeezed in. But digging it in does help to add a little more strength to the structure, but that's not the main reason why I've done it. This ground is sloping and it's uneven, and although the base rail is totally straight, the ground isn't, and there's lots of gaps, which means that when I make the bed along here inside the polytunnel, the compost will fall out through the gaps into the garden, get washed away, and that's a waste. Also, there's lots of weeds here, in particular creeping buttercup, and they can creep into the polytunnel. So by trenching, digging in the polythene, I am creating a barrier, which means that the compost isn't going to fall out and the weeds are not going to creep in, and also rodents and other wild creatures in this area are hopefully going to be less inclined to go in there. The access won't be quite so easy for them. So it's a hugely beneficial job. So I've started to fill in this trench here with the soil that I dug out, and it's as simple as that. I dig the trench, put the polythene inside and backfill it with the soil that was already there. When I dug the trench, I'd rolled up the polythene all the way down like a sausage and clipped it with bulldog clips to get it out of the way so that I could actually dig the hole. The next step, once I've filled it up and everything's nice and sturdy and backfilled, will be to mulch about 60 centimetres, 2 feet along here, in order to create a bed next to the polytunnel. This will be another barrier for the weeds. This bit here I mow because it's one of the paths to the bottom of the garden, and it will be a place I can grow things. But this winter, because I am so busy, I've got so much to do, I think I will temporarily cover this area with some of the old polythene that I brought with me, that I've had for a very long time, and that will keep the weeds down and create an area that I can plant in the spring and save me some much needed time as I continue creating the rest of the garden. And remember, I've got the other side of the polytunnel to do, and the front and the bottom, so there's still plenty of digging still to come. Once I'd finished trenching the front and the back of this side of the polytunnel, I mulched inside with cardboard and compost, and I've now been planting it out.